You know that most of the time I discuss advanced grammar, so today I would like to dedicate my time to something more basic. And I believe that this topic will also be helpful for those of you that have higher level of Czech. In this video we'll be discussing adjectives. We will talk about the difference between hard and soft adjectives. Jdeme na to. Ahoj, vítejte na mém kanále Czech by Zuzka, kde vám pomocí angličtiny vysvětluju českou gramatiku. Take a look at these two sentences. Je to nový dům, it's a new house. Přišel další zákazník, another customer came. And when we take a look at the adjectives in these sentences, those words that describe the quality, the character of the noun, a person or a thing, we will see they are different. Nový and další. Let's underline this with a blue color and this one with a red color. Nový, další. What is the first difference you can spot when you look at them? Besides that they are different words, of course. When you take a look at the end of those words, this one has Y at the end and this one has I at the end, which in Czech makes a big difference. Y and I is a big deal in Czech. They're not interchangeable, and sometimes if you write this letter instead of this, it looks very bad. It could really embarrass someone who writes an email and writes an I here. This letter in Czech is called tvrdé I. Tvrdé I, which means hard I. Tvrdé I. And this in Czech is called měkké I. Měkké I, which means soft I. So this adjective has tvrdé I, the hard I, Y. And this adjective has měkké I, the soft I. So it's not a coincidence that this type of adjective is called tvrdé přídavné jméno. Hard adjective. Hard adjective because there is a Y at the end, tvrdé I, in the base form, in the masculine gender. Now, další has I at the end, and therefore it is called měkké přídavné jméno, měkké adjektivum, soft adjective. Hard adjectives would be spelled with Y and čárka in their base form, in the masculine gender, like here, dům, ten dům, that's masculine. Adjectives such as další, soft adjective, would be spelled with I, with čárka in their nominative form. What is this information good for, besides knowing which I to write in the base form? This adjective acts differently from this one when we use it with different words that have different genders. Both of these are masculine. Dům is masculine, inanimate, it's not living. Zákazník, a client, a customer, is masculine animate because it's a person. First, let's take a look at hard adjectives and how they change. Hard adjectives, I wonder when this is gonna fall down. One of the most common adjectives in Czech is nový, new, as we've seen before. Let's take a look at examples of how it changes. Nový kuchař, a new cook. Nový den, a new day. Nová škola, a new school. Nové auto, a new car. These are singular forms and we have different genders. Kuchař is masculine animate, den is masculine inanimate. In here you can see that nový and nový are exactly the same, they finish with the same letter. Škola is feminine, and when we look at the ending of the adjective is nová, nová škola. Auto is neuter, to auto, and we say nové auto. These are the forms for the singular. Y, A and E, all ending with a čárka. Now the plural. Noví kuchaři, new cooks. Here we change the Y to I. That's why I was telling you, when the base form for the masculine animate finishes with Y, then we can call it hard adjectives. Because for the masculine animate plural, you will end with an I always. Nové dny, new days. Here it ends with an E. Nové školy, new schools. Školy is feminine and it ends with an E as well, just like the masculine inanimate. Nová auta, new cars. Here it ends with an A, just like the feminine singular. Okay, so there is a little bit of mess, but in this chaos we can always look for common things that will help us. So in the plural forms, the masculine inanimate and feminine are exactly the same. So you can see nové, nové. Masculine animate and inanimate in the singular form are also the same. And these ones kind of exchange their endings. What can we do about it? We just have to learn it. So these are the forms for the nominative, singular and plural, of the hard adjectives. Let me give you 4 more adjectives that are also very common. Velký, big, celý, whole, jiný, another or different, dobrý, good. And they act in the same way, almost in the same way. Listen very carefully. Let's take the adjective velký, velký, big and large. Velký kuchař, big or important cook. Velký den, velká škola, velké auto. Velcí kuchaři, velké dny, velké školy, velká auta. What did I say here? I said velcí. Velcí. When it comes to the plurals, masculine animate is always a little bit more special. Remember I told you here for the masculine animate plural, we have to use I. But in Czech, the letter K cannot be followed by I. This is not right. By the way, this consonant K is called a hard consonant precisely for this, because when there is an I sound, it will always be Y, the hard I. So what do? We exchange K for C, which is a soft consonant, and it can be followed by I. Velcí kuchaři. So we have to make this change. Every time there is an adjective that finishes with K, Y, masculine animate will change it for C. This change also happens in other parts of speech. For example, in nouns as well. If you have the word kluk, a boy, and you wanted to say boys, you would say kluci. What about the word jiný, different? Jiný kuchař, jiný den, jiná škola, jiné auto, jiní kuchaři, jiní. Everything else is the same except masculine animate. We don't have to worry about orthography, only the pronunciation. We spell it like this. N can be followed by I or Y, it's okay. But the pronunciation changes. We say jiní. So we have jiný kuchař, jiný kuchař, jiní kuchaři. You might not hear the difference, but with time you will get used to it. Let me show you again. Jiný, jiný kuchař, jiní, jiní kuchaři. Jiný, jiní, ní, jiní. Okay, what else happens? For example, the adjective dobrý, dobrý also has the same problem as the letter K. R cannot be followed by I in Czech. So, instead of dobrý kuchaři, in proper Czech, we should say dobří, dobří kuchaři. We simply make it ř, dobří kuchaři. I said in proper Czech. All this applies to the proper Czech, because then we also have colloquial version that is spoken in most of the Republic, and people, including me, would say dobrý kuchaři when we speak. When we write, it's a different thing. It would be considered a mistake. And there are also some different rules, which I will not mention here because we are practicing the proper Czech. What happens with the adjective celý? L is an ambiguous consonant. That means there can be I or Y. That means it doesn't affect this form here. We could write celý and celý with Y or I. Let's do an exercise now. Complete the right form of the adjective that's missing. First, let's see what genders we are dealing with. I'm sure this will be easy. Ta káva is feminine. Boty, Boty, this is plural, but the singular is bota. Ta bota, also feminine, but plural. Týden, ten týden is masculine, inanimate. Politici, politic is a person, so that's masculine, animate. Ten politik. Strategie, ta strategie, that's feminine, but it's also plural. Rajčata. Rajčata is neuter, and it's plural. If you need it, pause the video and compare with this chart. Are you ready to check the exercise? Okay. Číslo 1. Ta káva je moc dobrá. Boty jsou moc velké. Číslo 3. Celý týden byl fajn. Číslo 4. Politici jsou jiní. Jiní. Číslo 5. Používají se dobré strategie. Dobré strategie. Číslo 6. Rajčata jsou velká. Rajčata jsou velká. And now it's time for soft adjectives. No, I'm not gonna put the teddy bear here. It will not stay. One of the most common adjective is další. Another, other or next. Další kuchař. Another cook. Další den. Another day. Další škola. Another school. Další auto. Another car. Další kuchaři. Other cooks or more cooks. Další dny. Other days or the following days. Další školy. Other schools. Další auta. Other cars. You're probably pleasantly surprised that all these forms are identical. Další, 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 and další, 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 další. They are spelled the same way, they sound the same way in their nominative form. So these soft adjectives are a lot easier. What other soft adjectives are there? For example, another common one is poslední, the last one. Vlastní, someone's own. Hlavní, main. Domácí, homemade. All these adjectives and all of those that finish with I in their nominative form will not change with the gender or the number. In the nominative form. I can show you why I emphasize in their nominative form. This would be the forms for the rest of the cases. For an adjective such as moderní, which is another soft adjective, or a hard adjective, dobrý. These tables can be found in study tables that form a part of my ebook just in case. I give enough room to talk about the cases of each part of speech, so nouns, adjectives, pronouns, and numerals as well. So, let's do one simple exercise. Use these adjectives in the sentences that you see here. Ready to check it? Číslo 1. K obědu bude domácí vývar. Domácí vývar. To jsou jeho vlastní vnoučata. Vnoučata. Vlastní vnoučata. Zemřel poslední kníže. To je ta hlavní výhoda. That's all. There is no trick. Nothing about writing different letters here with masculine animate. So this is why it is good to know what type of adjective you are dealing with. When it's a hard adjective, it has different forms for each gender. When it's a soft adjective, it doesn't change. And one important thing to bear in mind, any hard adjective can become soft when we use their comparative and superlative form. What does that mean? For example, nový, it means new. If I want to say newer, I would say novější, novější. See the ending? Novější. And the newest is nejnovější, also finishes with an I. And that's the general rule for all the hard adjectives. To je ode mě všechno. Thank you for watching and thank you for studying Czech. Mějte se krásně, ahoj!